Good evening, friends. Tonight we're going to have a talk relate to the idea that's about our feelings and our health, how we can connect to do this. But before we start, we're going to get a little prayer to give us a moment for concentration. The volume is good? All right. Lovely Master Jesus, we ask the assistance of our friends from the spiritual world that can help us to clarify, to explain a little bit of the teachings of the Gospels and the teachings that we might guide our lives during day by day on this earth. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go. The first thing we're going to talk about feelings and health. We need to give some small definition about what do you consider health and what do you consider feelings. Let's see here which one is going to be. Okay, health. This I got this very broad conception. Health is the state of complete physical and mental and social well-being, not merely business absence, disease or infirmity. Well, let's go see. Sometimes you get a cold, right? You wake up with a little throat, feeling not good, but doesn't mean your health is gone. Doesn't mean your health is poor health. You only have a small disease. And then like 2-3 days better, now you're good health. But sometimes you don't have like any disease at all in the sense of your biological body, in the sense of your physiology. You don't have any ache, you don't feel any problem in your stomach, no problem in your lungs, no problem in your heart, no headache. However, you don't feel that your health. You feel, oh my God, look like everything is missing, something is missing in my day by day. Then health is really something that's very, very complex to say. But you can feel. You feel health, right? We have disease around the world, we have disease around the cities, but you feel health. You might be sick someday, but you might be health. And then we're going to get a definition, emotion and feeling. This one kind of a simple definition, that emotion is a physiological experience, a state of awareness that gives us information about the world. Like, if someone come inside the room and you not pay attention, you might get scared. That's a kind of emotion. You can sense this, any animal can sense this, any bird can sense this. It's like an emotion. You don't need to be conscious about what's going on. But the feeling is the conscious awareness of the emotion itself. Let's go keep this example. Suppose you get scared because someone come in the room. You can have a different reaction from your feelings. You can say, okay, I was not paying attention, calm down and everything's okay. Or you can start to think about yourself, say, oh, this person came here, wanted to scare me. Oh, why so mean? This is so bad. Why is this gonna do to do? And sometimes people has nothing relate to this feeling. We create this feeling inside ourselves. That's why feeling something that we have conscience, something that we decide to do it by our own choice. Means emotion is in your body. It's something that you react. But feelings is something that you can work on your choice. You can be more like you got scared. But you can aggravate this for fear. You can aggravate this for bad feeling against someone that scares you without the intention to scare you. Or you can create really a whole different situation. You can say, okay, that's nothing. I was not paying attention. That's okay. And you stay okay. It means this feeling that you're going to create on the second process when you get conscious about your emotion, that's your choice. That's something we need to understand and need to work with it. But think about this. Think that you have feelings that you can choose, you can control if you learn how to control. How this can relate to our health? Can this give some kind of a direct or indirect consequence in our health? That was the idea that I started to think about it. From the book The Portuguese name is the book. I translate only the way, I don't know if this book is already in English, but the book is called Thought and Life, How Thoughts Relate Our Lives. The spirit who wrote this book, his name is Emmanuel, and he wrote this in 1958. It's more than 6-7 decades around. And he said on chapter 15, the title of the chapter is Health. And I took a little part of the chapter, and I bring here. He says, the anger and the despair, the cruelty and the lack of moderation create deadly zones. Let's say, of a specific nature on the biological body. Then all those kind of feelings can create some kind of a deadly zone in some specific place in our biological body. And he says, impose disharmonious states to the cells, which nullify almost all their defensive reserves. Remember, what is the system that's related to the defense of the biological body? It's our immunological system. Right? Our immunological system is the one defending our bodies. Specific cells, specific proteins can work, they call immunoglobulins, they can work to protect the system, means of the whole body. And if those kind of thoughts can nullify, can make it difficult for the cells to defend themselves, this condition creates a fertile opportunity to culture pathogenic microbes on the organs less capable of resist. This is very interesting because you don't know which one of your organs are most reliable or the most susceptible to get sick. Could be your lung, could be your heart, could be your kidneys, could be your liver, your pancreas, anyone. Even your skin, your bones, some part of the muscles. Then we don't know if the kind of these feelings that we create, so disharmonic states in our mind, can create a disharmonic states in one of the organs in your body. Okay, he said this in 1968. On the same book, on a different chapter, chapter 28, he talked about infirmity, like disease. And then I took one little sentence to remember this. He says, nobody can tell with a rigor that every infirmity is connected to a elaborate process of our mental life. You cannot say because you got sick today of your throat, or you got a cold, or you got a headache, this was a consequence of your mind state. You don't know for sure, you cannot say for sure. However, we can assure that the elaborate process of mental life can keep direct influence over our disease. Means you're sick today, right? You have a headache, or you have a cold, you have a throat, or you have a digestive problem. Your mental states can help you to improve, or can put you in a situation worse than you did before. If you have a cold, you say, okay, that's normal. Everybody have a cold. I had a cold one day before, like 6-7 years ago. It's not good because you might have a little bit fever, you get tired, you might have a little bit of headache, you start to sneeze, you don't like to be sneezing all the time, your nose might be running, you don't like it. However, if you educate your mind, if you educate your feelings, you can help yourself say, look, I'm going to treat, I'm going to do some therapy, and I'm going to be good maybe in 24, 48, or 36, 72 hours. But I'm going to be good. I'm going to be healthy again. I'm going to be in a better state than I was before. And that's what your feeling can help. But if you go into that situation, oh my God, this cold never get out of me. This cold is going to destroy my life. Oh, you're going to take maybe a whole week or more to get health again. Because your mental state's going to influence in the better or in the worse states. It's going to be your choice. Then I got another book. This book you can find in English, you can find on the Amazon, on ebook. They translate as a Mechanics of Mediumship. Could see like a mechanism of mediumship. From André Luiz, he wrote this in 1959. And then one chapter is called Healing Mediumship. I got also one small piece of the chapter, only some sentence. He says, it is to understand that every dysfunction of moral or physical nature causes mental reactions that reflect itself immediately over the cells of our body, causing favorable or unfavorable conditions to the organic balance. Means that's almost the same information in a different words. That's the moral and the physical nature. We can give balance. You can give a favorable or unfavorable condition for organic body. This was written in 1969. I want to show this because as a spiritist, we get the information from the spirits by the mediums. And then we try to check this information with the scientific information to see this makes sense. Yes, makes sense. But on that time, I know most of the science on 1959 is still starting to learn about a lot of things about immunology. And then I start to make a research, say when they start to research about this idea, about psychological state of mind or brain situations and immunology, how they can connect this stuff. On 1964, December 1964, on this scientific article called Archaic General Psychiatry, a scientist, his name is George Solomon, and another one, Rudolf Moth, they published this kind of research in 1964. See, 5 years or 6 years after the spirits had given the message. Emotions, immunity, and disease, a speculative theoretical integration. They start to make observations that there is something related on the brain and the immunity and disease. And they start to think about, okay, let's go collect information, let's go collect some data. They took 5 years making research, and they published on the New York Academy of Science, they published another work, the same researcher, George Solomon, is a medical doctor, and the title of the work was that, Emotions, Stress, the Central Nervous Systems, and Immunity. You see, now we have a publication, a scientific publication, that relates to the idea that emotions, stress, nervous systems, and immunity, there is a relationship between them. There is something that in your brain connects with immunity, and something that the emotions can cause stress. Stress can cause you a better state or worse state of your body. From that work, they start to use the term neuroimmunology, means your immune system, the defense of your organism, is related to your brain. Their connection. There's some kind of a connection, even though at that time they didn't know for sure, but they knew they had a connection between the brain, the nervous systems, and the immunological system. Later on, like 6 years later, there was another work published on another magazine, scientific magazine called Psychosomatic Medicine. And that's amazing because psychosomatic medicine, this term, psychosomatic disease, people used to say on the end of the 70s, on the 80s, if they don't know for sure what was the cause of your disease, they would say, oh, this is psychosomatic. This is from the psychological point of view. Well, I don't know exactly what was going on in the guy. I could not find the cause of the disease. Then we say, oh, it's a psychosomatic problem, a psychosomatic disease. These two researchers, Robert Adler and Nicholas Cohen. Dr. Robert was a psychologist, and Dr. Cohen, Nicholas Cohen, he was involved with immunology. And they start to work together, and they observe some kind of a behavior that could cause immunodepression, means they could suppress your immunity. They did this in rats. They didn't do it in individuals. Later on, they start to collect information like, oh, you have a disease, a neural disease, and then we start to measure the immunoglobulin from your blood, and we start to see they have a decrease. Okay, then they must have some kind of a relationship. And they start to study it. But this group of research, they start to create a new term they call psychoneuroimmunology. Means it's not only your brain that's related to your immunity. It's like the way you think about it, the way you live. The stress that comes from your emotion or the stress that comes from your feelings. Because remember, if you make this difference, emotion, everybody can have the emotion. The feelings is something that you can work on it. Like the fear. You have a fear for some some noise or some situation. But the feelings that you react for the situation in the future depend on yourself. Some people go to the panic, some people go to the conscious state, say, okay, that's normal, it feels like this is normal, though, no problem, that's it. Everybody can have. Then the feelings, that's your psychological state of mind, going to be related to your neural system and your immunological system. Means science now is proving to us that since 1975, is more than 30 years ago, is proving to us that feelings, emotions, is connected to nervous systems and connected with immunological system. There is another book that I was able to read. I have this book at home from Bill Morris. He organized this book in 1994. Also, you can see the video. I see this, you can see on the Amazon Prime, or you can see on YouTube or some of the streaming company. I guess even the DVD, maybe they might sell the DVD. The title is Healing in the Mind. It's fantastic. It's an interview with so many different scientists and health professionals. They work on this situation, how the mind is connected to your health, how your health can respond to the mind state of your body and your psychological state of mind. And that's something really amazing. But come the question, what is the difference that we see on the Spiritism and we see on science today? The main idea that I could say is that the Spiritism, the Spirit says, we are the spirits living the biological body. When the biological body dies, we survive in a different type of matter, with a different type of body. In our mind, we continue conscious about our mind. Means the mind is not a product of biological chemical reaction. It's not a chemical reaction in your neurons. It's not your neuronal network that creates your mind. Your mind is present in the brain. That's the main difference. That's you create a different perception about the situation. But it's very good because everybody's talking about the same subject. Everybody's talking about the healing, how you can health, how you can work your health and your feelings. This is very good because today in science, when people start to see, oh, they have a lot of centers in universities in the United States, also in Europe and other places, they talk about spirituality and health. They talk about mind-body medicine. They talk about the importance of meditation. They talk about the importance of the self-compassion. Means you have this kind of a feeling that you need to be patient with yourself. You need to understand that you commit mistakes. You need to understand that you can change your behavior. You can change for a different way. That was the proposal. That was the idea. That if you look with more attention, it wasn't the Christian philosophy. That was they used to see the teachings of Jesus would say, you can do better tomorrow than you do today, right? You can sow what you have planted in before. And then we need to understand that why do I need to research this kind of a thing? Because it makes us as like a tool. If you understand the process is going on inside your body. If you understand the process that you can work with your feelings, it's going to be really, really very, very good and very important. And then we see the spirits. Are the spirits send a message before, like on the time of Kardec talk about this? Yes, some of the spirits was talking about, look, you need to educate yourself. We need to change our behavior, because if you change our behavior, you're going to make better for your health. There was a group of, before even Kardec organized the Spirits book in 1857, on that time in Europe, especially in France, they used to talk about magnetism. Well, that was the term they gave, because in 1857, nobody knew for sure the magnetic theory. That's James Clerk Maxwell is going to be writing only 1869, 1870s. And then magnetism was a term that's, okay, we feel that we transfer some kind of energy. This kind of energy can be something that we do not know. Like they used to say in physics on the 1800s, everything we don't know we call fluid. The electricity was a fluid, electric fluid, magnetic fluid, because they didn't know exactly. And that's the term magnetic fluid state. They decided to say, okay, let's go call magnetism. Because some people believe there was not like a fluid, because the fluid you need like uh, a tube or something to connect the fluid. The fluid doesn't flow without some material made. But most of the other guys, they believe and say, we believe maybe the magnetism is like a ray, a radiation like the sunlight. We can maybe radiate something for somebody, and this is like similar to magnet. That's the magnetism. Nobody knew for sure. They gave the name magnetism, animal magnetism, because it was a magnetism that was flowing for our magnet body, or the biological body. That was only like a classification for something we don't know for sure. But today, we know more and more about physics. We know that our body can radiate electromagnetic waves on like the heat. The heat is electromagnetic waves. We do not irradiate light. Like nobody can be on the dark room and suddenly irradiate light. We do not have the energy enough to produce light in our body. But we know that our body is producing electromagnetic waves. We know that we have a small magnetic field in our brain. That's some methodology today they use in medicine to read about these waves, magnetic waves, the magnetic field in your brain, and try to map your brain like by behavior and location in your brain. Then we have a lot of knowledge, we have a lot of information that we didn't have like 30 years ago. However, we still have this big problem. We still have the problem that how are we going to work our feelings? And that's first step we need to do is say, look, we need self-compassion. We need to be patient with ourselves, not only the others, because sometimes we try to believe that, oh, I need to be patient, but we need to be patient not only with the other ones, but most of the time, we need to be patient with ourselves because we want to be good. We want to be this nice person from one day to the night. That's not possible. It's going to take years and years of working. Sometimes I want to be this person that is able to sit down, listen to calm music and relax in 30 seconds. You might not be able to do this unless if you're training for 1 year, or maybe you're training for 6 months, you don't know for sure. But you need to be patient. You need to start. You need to say, okay, every tree needs to be planted a seed to grow up a big tree. Then I need to give the first step. I need to put the seed inside myself, but also at the same time, I need to be patient. We know that sometimes trees take 12, 14 years to give some nice fruits. And then if we need time, we need the self-compassion in the sense, okay, I need to understand that I make mistakes. Even try to change myself, I'm doing better now, I still can commit mistakes. And then if I be patient, if I be self-compassion in the sense that say, I understand that I'm flowing on some place. I'm walking ahead, I'm walking forward. However, I need to understand that I'm not going to run. I'm not Usain Bolt to run like crazy, like a big running. No, I know my steps. Sometimes today I can give 2 steps. Tomorrow I'm really difficult. It's a difficult situation. I need to sit down. I need to stop a little bit, reflect about my behavior, recognize that I have the potential inside of myself, find the tools that are going to need it, because something we need to understand. The same way that you take a medicine to sometimes help healing your body, help to stabilize the balance of your body, like in nutrition that we need it. We need to eat some carbohydrates, we need to eat some proteins, we need the vitamins, we need the coat of vitamins to go together to keep the balance in your body. We also going to need tools to help with these feelings, to help to educate our feelings, to help to change our feelings. We cannot do that sometimes, most of the times I would say, we cannot do that by ourselves. We might need help from somebody else. We might need somebody on the field of health, on the field of psychology, or some friends they like philosophy, or some people maybe really connect to religious states of mind. But we need help and we need tools. If you want to get this healing for our mind, we need to find those tools. And the tools that we're going to use is sometimes completely different for each other. Like we see today a lot of people work with meditation. People like to do yoga. Some people like to do Tai Chi. Some people like to listen to music. Some people like even run. I say, oh, look, I'm going to run for 15 minutes. And when they finish, oh, wow, now I'm going to sit down and relax, find my different state of mind. There are so many different tools, but the goal is that. The goal is to help you to educate and control your feelings. Because if you help to control your feelings, if you help to educate your mind, you're going to see more and more better process. Then you can find the best way to be healthy. The healing is a process for you to be healthy. And then we're going to ask, once I get health, I'm going to be healthy every time. Well, as your body is not going to be the same every day, we know your body is changing the proteins inside yourself, it's changing the DNA, it's changing the RNA, it's changing the cells. Of course, that's the healing. The health is a kind of a balance. Today is going to be 75%, tomorrow is going to be 98%, tomorrow, a lot of days is going to be 80%, but on the whole situation, are you still working for health? It's the same situation you're going to ask, and my feelings, are going to be okay every time? Oh, no, of course not. You're going to work yourself for 2, 3, 4, 5 days, you feel nice and good. On the 6th day, on the 7th day, oh, that's happened. A situation that you less expected, put you like a test, and you go, oh, unbalanced again. And then you stop, let's go work again. Let's work more 5, 6 days. And then if you do this, oh, it's going to be amazing, right? Because I'm on the 7 days, I already worked 6, only 1 day that was out of balance. Means you need to be expected that you're not going to be perfect. We are not perfect yet. We're not in the state of a pure, completely understanding of our mind, of our feelings. We are in the process of learning. If everybody's learning, then everybody's going to be one day up and down, but together, we're going to exchange experience. We're going to exchange our feelings. It's like a radiation. Like it's like if I'm sending to you a good wave, this good wave is going to resonate inside yourself, and you're going to send another wave for me. And this wave is going to carry not only the feelings, but also going to carry some kind of information that our mind is going to be able to process unconsciously, and we're going to help. Jung used to say the collective thoughts, like everybody have a collective feelings. Then we should think about this. Every time I have my feelings, somebody else also has the feelings. If we radiate this like a mind can radiate rays, like waves, like electromagnetic, similar to electromagnetic waves, I'm going to send this someplace, and somebody else is going to send, I might assimilate, somebody might assimilate my feelings. We're going to help each other. And that's when there's come the cooperation, right? We are not in the process of competition. Can you imagine that your body starts a process of a competition? Can you imagine that we usually have two sides of the legs? Can you imagine that one leg says, oh, I'm not going to give you air for you. I'm going to get all the air for this. Like your nose. Your nose is going to be competition one side or the other. The eye is going to be competition, right? One eye is going to want to look to this side. The other eye is going to, you're going to be a disaster. That's the whole biological body teaches that cooperation is the solution. If the society, if a nation wants to survive, if the planet wants to survive like humanity, we're only going to achieve this by cooperation. Competition is the first step for the disaster, is the first step for painful future. If you want to be a different future, on the future that we can work better, we can have better solutions, we have a different way to do things, cooperation is the most important thing. And how are we going to achieve cooperation? We need one thing, we need one kind of a feeling that's the most important. Very simple word, fraternity. If you don't find fraternity inside yourself, you're not going to find fraternity outside. They used to say that Francis of Assisi has the prayer of Francis of Assisi. In one of the sentences says, Jesus, let me help to take peace where there is no peace. But you only can take peace if you have peace inside yourself. You only can take fraternity if you find fraternity inside yourself. If you fight with yourself, if you do not accept yourself the way you are, if you're trying to make a whole revolution, the whole war inside yourself because you're fighting against the way you are, it's going to be difficult. You need to have this, we said before, self-compassion. You need to find this fraternity inside yourself. You need to find peace. And you only can find peace when you see yourself on the mirror of life and you said, okay, that's who I am. Do I like all the behaviors I do? No. Then I'm going to change my behaviors. And my behavior is going to need different feelings, going to need more education, going to need more control. But you need first to see who you are. Right? Because if you don't see who you are, how are you going to change? As they used to say on the Greek, on the old times, know thyself. You need to know yourself. That's one of the ideas that the Spirit's trying to find very important to us. Try to understand yourself. Try to know yourself. Because if you know your feelings, if you understand your emotions that you transfer to the feelings, you can educate your feelings. You're going to still have emotions, you're going to have feelings, but you're going to transform yourself. And then each time more, you can heal your body. You can heal your mind. However, even though we know that one day this biological body is going to find death, this biological body is going to die, but we die health in your mind. You die health in your feelings. Because if we're going to survive in a different body, we're going to survive in a different type of matter, we need to be health in your feelings. You need to be health in your mind. That's why we need to work this with ourselves. Find the tools, find the bad things we need to do. Maybe one day we can give like a talking about what kind of a tools can we use to work our feelings, right? What kind of a meditation, talk about Tai Chi, talk all about those kind of tools they have today, mind-body medicine, all those kind of tools might be very interesting and show how it is connected with the Spiritist ideas. All right, that's the main topic. That was the main idea. We can change ourselves, but we need to understand that we need self-compassion. We need to have step by step. Don't believe that you're going to be an angel on the day of the night. No, but we're going to be ourselves. Know yourself, then you can help yourself to change, and we're going to help the community that you live. You're going to help the society and the nation because you'll be a better person, a better way to live. Thank you very much. Now we're going to pass some reminders for the people here. Tuesday meditation, 7 p.m. You can find on the YouTube channel for the Broad Spiritist Society. This is one of the tools I was talking about, tools that help us to heal our feelings, to organize our feelings, to heal our body, heal our mind. We still have this group Tuesday, 8 p.m. All the meetings is online, is the Zoom. We are probably going to be more 2 or 3 weeks, maybe 2 weeks, because then we're going to stop for Christmas, New Year, because a lot of people travel, or people need to have some kind of relaxing. But people like to when you talk online, because we cannot talk to each other. We cannot meet anymore because sometimes you have the time. And then when you sit down and talk, they talk forever. Next. I guess we still have I don't know if we still have people need sometimes, they stop to organize the garage sale, people do still bring some stuff, right? Sometimes they have the garage sale, they put this online. If you want to know something, go in the web page for the YouTube and the web page for the Broad Spiritist Society, because most of the activity we're doing today is unfortunately have to do online, because we cannot have like 20 people like we have before the disease come to the planet, not only to United States, the whole planet. All right, more reminders, that's enough, okay. All right, friends, we like the talk for tonight. We're happy and we hope that in the future we can bring more information about this topic, like tools and ways to do things over here. We want to finish over here with a small prayer and bring peace for ourselves for a few minutes. Relaxing and try to find inside ourselves this point of balance and say that we are thankful, Jesus, for the opportunity of learning, for the opportunity of talking about the more important things that can help our feelings, can help to find the better way of living, and that your teachings can be the guide and the orientation for our lives, the orientation for our behavior in our society, in our community. So be it. Thank you.